What's up, Kewaskum? On today's Chiefs Chatter, we're going to discuss the 125th anniversary of the village of Kewaskum. On this date, May 7th, 1895, the village officially incorporated as the village of Kewaskum. Joining me today, once again, are Aaron Laatsch and Trautner from the Kewaskum Historical Society. Let's go. All right, Ann and Aaron are on location. Aaron is at the Historical Society. Ann is in front of the old Opera House where Kewaskum was incorporated as a village 125 years ago today. Let's first go to Aaron Laatsch. He's at the Kewaskum Historical Society. Aaron, why is today, May 7th, an important date for the village of Kewaskum?
Well, Tom, thank you. May 7th, 1895 was the official date of the vote that took place to incorporate the village of Kewaskum. The vote took place down at Percy's Hall and Saloon on the corner of Riverview and Main Street, down here in Kewaskum, just over the Main Street Bridge. That evening, the village voted 104 to 55 to incorporate the village. At the time of the incorporation, we had about 600 residents in the village of Kewaskum.
Aaron, why did the village founders want to incorporate as a village?
The residents started pushing for incorporation as early as 1876. The condition of the roads, they were looking for sewer services in the village, but actually the town residents that encompassed the town of Kewaskum, there were more residents or people outside the village that did not want it. So it failed a time or two, and it wasn't until 1895 the village banded together, and that's when the vote took place again. They started pushing in February of 1895, and then that vote took place in May.
Now, the document that was signed on that day, today, 125 years ago today, is still on file at Village Hall, correct?
Correct. We do have a document in the Village Hall records. It's showing the incorporation that was sent to the state of Wisconsin, and it's also showing an inspection of that election that took place on May 7th. The inspection took place on May 11th, and then it wasn't until the following June, the next month, when the first village board meeting was held.
All right, so May 7th, 1895, we're incorporated as a village. What happened next?
So on May 7th, 1895, after the village incorporated, the first village board meeting was held at 204 Main Street, which is now the site of Alter Ego Tattoo. Previously, the Central Hotel had stood there. That building actually, for years, was a saloon, a hotel, had a little art museum, an art gallery, a bakery, and eventually it did burn down in the mid-1990s.
Aaron, what took place at that very first village board meeting?
So at that first meeting, the village elected Adolf Rosenheimer as president of the village and also other village board officials. They also elected the first village marshal of Kewaskum. His name was Dave Casey.
What duties were assigned to the very first police chief, David Casey?
Dave Casey actually had numerous roles in the village. Law and order, obviously, he presided over everything from fist fights to even a murder, but at the same time he was also responsible for stray dogs, contagious diseases, and numerous other things in the village, even keeping track of getting these street lamps on and off, the oil lamps, and road maintenance.
Aaron, you just mentioned contagious diseases. Right now, amid this coronavirus pandemic, we're kind of going through our own situation with contagious diseases. I read that David Casey had to go to people's homes who were infected with contagious diseases at that time. Is that accurate?
So yes, Mr. Casey was also responsible going door to door twice a day to check on village residents who were quarantined, and was responsible for getting, at sometimes, food and supplies to these people who were ordered to stay home.
All right, wow. Thank you very much, Aaron. Now let's go to Ann, who is at the location of the signing of the incorporation of Kewaskum 125 years ago today. And tell us about that building behind you.
Hi, yes, I'm on location at 1310 Riverview Drive on May 7th, 1895. This is the building where people came and cast their vote to incorporate the village of Kewaskum.
And what was that building originally used for?
Okay, this building dates back all the way to the 1870s. It was known as the Washington House, and it was owned by the Cook family that operated the Washington House. By the year 1895, when the vote took place, a man named David Percy owned it, and it was called Percy's Saloon and Hall, and that's where people came and voted to incorporate the village. But by the year 1910, a man named Charles Greshel purchased this building and called it the Opera House, which many people still refer to it as. In 1947, the Dye family purchased the building and operated a small store and a saloon here.
And what kind of activities took place in that building? I see some roller skates possibly in your hands there.
Yeah, I picked these roller skates up from the museum that the Historical Society had, and I thought I would bring them here because I wanted to try roller skating in the building, because that's what they used to do back when this was called the Opera House. There was a roller skating rink, and people would roller skate when someone would play the organ, and they would have a great time. They also would play basketball games here and even some baseball games. The high school used this as their gym, and so did some of the recreational leagues.
What other events took place on this side of town?
Well, you know, even back in 1895, when the village was incorporated, David Percy had this building, and as the owner of this building, he also was the owner who ran Southside Park. And Southside Park is located just across this main street here. Today we know the park as River Hill Park. But back in those days at Southside Park, they would have dances and even graduation ceremonies. They even had a building there that had a floor that swayed, so when you went and danced, it looked like there were waves of people going up and down.
And is that why that park was going to be the location for the 125th anniversary celebration?
Exactly. We were really looking forward to having our 125th anniversary celebration at River Hill Park, because it brought everything kind of full circle to where the incorporation actually took place at this location. So we will not have our 125th anniversary celebration this year, but we will look forward to next year when we can have a 126th anniversary celebration.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of Chiefs Chatter. Thank you to Aaron Laatsch and Ann Trautner for providing the details of this day in history, May 7th, 1895. Happy 125th birthday, Village of Kewaskum. Fortunately, we won't be celebrating this year like we planned, but we are going to celebrate next year, hopefully. But I think we will. Until next time, Kewaskum, remember to be safe, be kind, and let's chat again.